How's it going, rednecks? I gotta say, I'm pretty excited about this video. We're gonna be working on the Oldsmobile there, and I got some parts I gotta install on it that are hopefully gonna make this thing mobile. But before we go over that, let's get this thing off the trailer because it's getting dark out already. Alright, rednecks, on the back of the turtle here, I have all the parts we're going to be installing today. The radiator for the Oldsmobile has a giant crack going all the way down it. The ignition control module is causing the vehicle to run funny. It was bad a couple years ago, so I figured, yeah, time to replace that. We got 3 new coils, new spark plugs, and the idle air control motor is froze on the Oldsmobile too, and that's causing a high idle. This thing was running at about 4,000 RPM, so hopefully the idle air control motor will take care of the high idle, the ignition control module will take care of the running issue, and the radiator will take care of us not being able to hold coolant down. And I got my master mechanic here kind of looking the parts over. I think he wants down, so we'll get him down, and then we'll get started with installing those parts on the Oldsmobile. Yeah, was that fun? Alright guys, first things first, I'm going to get the ignition control module done. We'll get that old one pulled off, new one put on, then we'll take care of the idle air control motor, because those are the clean jobs. Those are not going to require any oil, any coolant, any spillages. And then the messy work, we'll do that radiator. So I'm quite impressed. It's pretty cold out right now. It's just after Christmas. And my propane tank gets buried in that mess over there. Still has stuff in it, and I don't know if you can hear it or not, but my heater's on, so I'm doing pretty good in here right now. So let's get started by pulling that ignition control module out. What do you say? Alright, rednecks, getting that ignition control module off was pretty easy. There's 6 bolts that hold the coil packs down, and then 1 more that holds the electrical plug-in in. And unfortunately, the guy before me was probing the wires. If you look right there, you can see that the wires split. I'm going to go ahead, there's a few of them, there's a pretty good one right there. The guy before me was trying to figure out why this thing wouldn't run, and he was back probing the wires, which in my book is a huge no-no, because that later on the road is going to fail. So I'm going to take and cut every one of them, resolder them together, and sleeve them with heat shrink tubing. Yeah, that's going to be a big job. I'm not going to probably record the whole thing. I'll record some of it because it's going to be insanely time consuming and probably pretty boring for you guys to watch. So that's going to suck. I'm going to get to that, get that fixed, and then we can install the new ignition control module, and hopefully down the road that will not give us a problem. Crossing my fingers on that. So let's do a proper fix and I'll get back to you. Well, rednecks, to say the least, my tank for the heater did not last very long, so I built a little tent here under the hood, put a little space heater in it, and it's working pretty good. As you can see, I have the wiring all soldered up, and I took the time to put it all in wire loom as well, so that's all tidied up. Now I guess it's time to install the ignition control module, and then we'll get over there and get started on the idle air control motor. Well, Rednecks, that was pretty easy. The idle air control motor just threads right into the manifold right like that. And as you can see, it's got quite a bit of damage from when me and Prom Night were trying to pry this plunger out so that the idle in the car would come down. Now, I got a little carried away. I moved on to the next part of the job, changing out this radiator, and I came across this right here. On the cooling fan, there's some sort of resistor, and if you look, both the wires are broke off of it. So I'm not sure that fan was even working before. I'm definitely not going to worry about it right now. It's winter, it's going to be cold out. I don't live in a big city, so this car is not going to be idling in traffic. So I'm going to look that part up. But for right now, I want to get this radiator in, get my coolant all put back in, and get this thing run because I want to drive this thing. So let's get the rest of this torn apart. I'll get you guys set up and yeah, let's get to work. Well, there we go, Rednecks. There's an empty hole where the radiator used to be. And right here is our new radiator. And this is what happened to the old one. It's cracked all the way from there to there. And the annoying thing about this is the car never dripped a lick of coolant up until I got it going. And as soon as I got it warmed up finally, that opened up, started leaking, had coolant everywhere. Yeah, that kind of sucks. That's kind of how these things go. That new radiator obviously was pretty hard to find. It's a 2-year radiator. This car is a 86 and it's an 86-87 only radiator, so a little expensive, hard to come by, so I had to buy a new one. Kind of sucks, especially for a gambler vehicle, but I need a radiator in this thing, so let's get that thing installed. Well, Rednecks, I got this thing all buttoned up, all ready to go, but unfortunately it's quite late at night. It's about midnight, and I don't want to drive this thing around. It's quite loud, so I'm just going to wait till tomorrow, take it for a ride, and I'll let you guys know and kind of get you caught up with how everything went. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, Rednecks, it's the next day, and I couldn't resist yesterday. I ended up taking this thing out, and man is it awesome. The ride quality is so good, the heat works perfect, everything went good. So I'm going to put you guys in the passenger seat. We're going to take this thing for a ride. Obviously it's light out now and you'll be able to see what's going on, so sit tight and enjoy the ride. I don't know if you can hear me over the exhaust. It's pretty loud. We hacked it off right at the muffler. This thing's amazing. The ride quality is just beautiful. It's like you're floating on a cloud. The heat works really good. And it's everything I ever wanted it to be. I gotta say, I'm quite impressed with how this thing rides. The transmission's giving me a little bit of an issue. It doesn't want to go into gear every time. Kind of slips from third to fourth. So I'm gonna put some Lucas in that. Hopefully that don't give me any problems down the road. It's just hopefully a sticky valve from sitting so long. So, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I gotta say, you guys love the topper. I think it's awesome myself. And it's really cool how it kind of blew up all over the internet. Like, everybody loved it, so that's really cool. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and get back to work.